Well, the weather for the whole of the south of England will continue as it has for the next few weeks. It's going to be hot and moist, with temperatures rising steadily as time goes on. There's a chance of steamy moments as we move into the... sod it. We never wanted to do this. We never wanted to be weathermen and women making innuendos about hot atmospheres and drizzly countries. We didn't want to be child-friendly. We didn't want to bang on about being for over 18s only. We want to talk about our sexy adventures. We want to be lifestylers, leaping from bush to bush as we sail down the rivers of British sex clubs and mountains of crazy experiences. The cheeky purple mamba, the liquid silk pumped liberally into our hand, the rodeo classic brief harness complete with Tantus curve, the Enjoy Pure One stainless steel dildo, the hot octopus digit, the ever so short messages on Fab Swingers, the sexy friends on Twitter, and the mighty vanilla alternative. With my best girlie by my side, we'd swing, swing, swing.
Get in the gym or to your car. With our advice, you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes. And talk about our sexy dates. It's getting hard for this to rhyme. Just as well, 'cause it's bed hopping time.
Hello and welcome to the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name's Mr. H.
I'm Mrs. H.
She's barely awake, folks. She's with us, though. She's grumpy. She's tired.
I'm not grumpy.
She's sulky. She's other Care Bears and other dwarfs.
Well, no.
Which makes me Snow White, I guess.
It does not. It really does not. I'm not grumpy.
Hi-ho. Hi-ho.
I am fatigued.
Fatigued, okay. And why are we fatigued?
Just life.
Just life.
Yes.
Life gets a bit much, doesn't it?
Yes, just life. But I'm here.
You're here.
And apparently you're going to pep me up.
I'm going to pep you up, Buttercup.
Yes.
Absolutely. So this time round, on episode 96, we are going to be talking about OnlyFans.
What is OnlyFans?
What is OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Will you tell me?
It's a website where you can put naughty content if Twitter won't let you.
I don't think that's the definition of OnlyFans. OnlyFans, you can get subscribers and you can charge people if you want for access to content. I don't think it has to necessarily be naughty content.
That's just my experience.
Yeah, so
of seeing why OnlyFans has cropped up.
Exactly that. So over the last couple of years, we've noticed a growing trend in people jumping on OnlyFans. And I suspect, given the fact that most of this country is locked down, there's nothing else to do other than jump on OnlyFans and produce content.
Exactly. And I should have just figured it out. It's just for fans. There you go.
What?
The clue's in the title. The content is just for people who want to see it.
Okay. Is this only occurring now to you?
Yes. Like 100%, and you know that's true. I'm not even lying.
I was today old when I learned out that OnlyFans was just for your fans.
Yeah, I think I've just actually figured it out now.
Okay, so now that we've discovered that, we invited a bunch of friends and contacts on Twitter to jump on and tell us about their OnlyFans experience. So this episode is all about, we're going to be interviewing Soleofanangel and also Curious Kitty.
Yes.
All of them very, very delightful. And then next time around, we've got the Nerdy Introverts on as well to talk about their experience on OnlyFans and also a few other bits and bobs since we had them on the line anyway.
Yeah.
I know, right? Exciting times. So, you can't listen to that one yet because that's in a couple of weeks' time.
It's in the future.
Well, yeah. But
the year 2000.
Yeah, we'll get back to the future.
Where we're all robots and in flying cars.
No. In the future, we'll all be not locked down and we'll be able to go out and have all amazing sexy parties and whatnot.
Yeah, you're saying this. Is it going to happen?
Maybe, maybe not. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen in the future. But for your future, because you're listening.
Do you think OnlyFans, right? I'm just going back to OnlyFans now.
Oh dear.
I know. I'm actually thinking back to in the days when things like smash hits existed.
Yes.
And you could write to your favourite band and become a fan of their band, like fan clubs.
So you think it's like a naughty fan club?
Well, you said it didn't have to just be naughty.
Well, okay.
But basically, if you wanted to know more about your favourite pop group and get some badges.
Well, I think this is almost like subscribing to their magazine, I guess, in a way. Like you can get content from them. Sometimes it gives you access to those people.
Smash tits.
Smash tits. Oh, my God.
You're welcome. You can have that one.
Thanks.
When you start your own OnlyFans.
We'll keep that for you. So for someone that's so grumpy, you're belligerently funny today.
You should get that from me on a t-shirt.
No.
Mrs. H, belligerently funny. I'll give you humour even if you don't want it. Take that. Oh, take that. Take twat. No. I'm trying to think of naughty fan clubs now I could start for the pre-existing pop bands of the 80s.
No, let's not do that. No. Let's just focus up on what's going on now. Also want to say a huge thanks to anyone who contacted us over the fantasy stuff that we did last time round. That was a really good fun episode to record. Lots of people recommending naughty tentacle porn to us, which has been amazing.
How lovely.
Yeah, we had a message today about Alfie, the comic, which I really like, from buttsmithy.com. Someone's saying that we should go check that out. Well, I have been checking it out for the last couple of years. Thank you very much. That's a great comic on the web. Go check it out if you haven't. I'm going to say check it out one more time.
Check it out.
Check it out. Anyways, I guess we better start this show properly.
Yes.
Rather than just us waffling on.
So actual professionals can talk instead of us.
Well, it's mostly us talking to other people with them giving us some answers.
All right, fair enough.
But anyway, so there's going to be 2 interviews. Soul of an Angel, Curious Kitty. Go seek out their content. Go have a look. They're all lovely and quite naughty. So I'm sure you'll get some enjoyment.
Can't promise they're going to get badges, though.
Badges?
Badges.
Oh, okay. There may be badges, but not badges.
Merch and badges.
There might be merch. I don't know.
Who knows?
We haven't done any research, clearly. So, maybe you can and let us know. So anyway, Mrs. H, play that thing.
We've got something that's just for you. Holy shit, it's an interview.
Joining us today, we have Curious Kitty, also known as Kim, from up north. I think that's fair to say. Way up north.
Very up north. Beyond the wall, even.
Beyond the wall. Beyond where the White Walkers lurk.
Wildling right here.
Yeah, Wildling right there. Where are you from, Kim?
Stirling.
Stirling.
So, bang in the central belt. So, Scotland proper.
Excellent. And we've got Kim here today. Mrs. H, are you speaking today? You were just remaining silent, by the way.
I was enjoying all the Game of Thrones-isms.
Thronisms. Does it just make you want to sing about tits and horses?
Everything makes me want to sing about tits and horses.
Tits and horses, tits and
Amen.
horses, tits and horses.
Right?
Anyways, we brought Kim on today to talk about OnlyFans.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Are you helping me on this at all?
Here. I'm definitely
You've got
here.
my back? Yeah,
I was enjoying all the Game of Thrones things. Yeah.
You're still enjoying them?
Still
Okay.
enjoying them.
So, Kim, you've been on OnlyFans for I'm guessing, a short while now?
Yeah, it's only been about a month.
About a month.
And it's been really, wow, it was kind of an insane, it's been insane so far.
Okay.
It's really exploded. And I didn't expect it to at all. But it's been a really weird and surreal, but also really cool experience.
What was behind the decision to jump on OnlyFans then?
A lot of bullying from friends.
Oh, God.
Active peer pressure. I take my fad profiles. Well, not so much anymore because I'm very careful about what I'm posting and crossing the 2 platforms. I don't want to do that. But I've always taken really sort of interesting photos. I try and show my personality as much as my body and as much my underwear, etc. It should show who I am. It shouldn't just be a generic boob shot every single time. It shouldn't be. So I kind of took that passion and went, I want to do more with this. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about that I can't really do just on Fab, and I can't just explore that way. And I got told several times, like, well, get on Twitter, get yourself a not safe for work Twitter, and get on Instagram and go do it. Stop being a wimp. And there was actively a day where I texted my friend and went, well, you were telling me to go on Twitter and get a not safe for work Twitter, and that I should just go and do this. Well, in the last 24 hours, I've done Twitter, Instagram, Reddit.
Oh, wow.
Set up an OnlyFans. And she was just like, yeah, honey, someone's pushed your crazy button and it's stuck.
I don't know a lot about OnlyFans and the process to kind of get on it, as it were. Is it something you have to kind of invest in? Do you have to pay for it to set it up, or is it a free thing?
It's
okay.
Really easy to set up. What it does do is it does take about 48 hours to get verified, because they verify you against your ID, and you've got a several stage thing, and that way they're filtering out any potential scammers, which makes total sense. You don't want to be in that situation. But it's quite simple to get started, but I think the momentum is going to be the the main thing. I think
Yeah.
that's the big problem that most people seem to struggle with. I did a lot of research before I actually jumped into it, and the people that are most successful are the ones that sort of create a brand for themselves as much as anything else. It's about their personality as much as it's about anything else. And they really go for it in that way, and they enjoy the process of advertising, and they enjoy talking about it and the different ways that they do it, be it, you know, sexy, naughty cosplay, be it to do with health and fitness, be it to do with like sex education, whatever. They're the ones that do the best, but also create the best sort of audience space that are the most interactive.
When you set it all up, do you have to pick in advance the kind of content you're going to put out on OnlyFans then, or you can just go in and set it all up, get verified, and off you go?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'm like a fledgling little bird that's fallen out of the nest and I can't quite figure out how to fly. So I'm just throwing things at it. Like, yeah, it's like I'll just throw this. I'll just go take naked photos in the snow because, you know, apparently I hate me. I hate being warm. And just see how it goes at any given time, because why not? But there is things that I know that I want to do that I'm building up towards. Like, I want to do my Boobs Out book club, where I'm actively talking about different books and different comics and etc. And the only thing that's going to be different about it is I'm going to be sitting with my pajama bottoms on and my tits out.
Do you know what? Years ago, I remember I used to attend a book club with some work colleagues, and we actually did call it Boob Club, lovingly, and that was like very, very pre.
The first
sort of
rule
lifestyle.
of Boob Club was not to talk about Boob Club.
But as the weeks went on, I got less and less like round to reading the books, and then it just became Boob Club, and we just drank wine, and that was it.
That sounds about right for you.
I might resurrect a Boob Club.
Yeah.
You should join me.
Yeah.
We'll do Boobs Out book club and you can
Boobs
join
Out
me.
book club. I love this idea. It's great. I'm reading 3 books at the moment. Like, at the moment, 3 books all at the same time.
Well, that's very rude. We're supposed to be interviewing her.
Oh, I'm just all about this Boob Club now, so she's got me interested.
She's got you interested. So you mentioned Fab as you were talking through kind of your journey to OnlyFans. So does that mean you're a swinger? How do you identify?
I think of myself as a swinger. I still haven't quite figured out how that applies to someone who's actively like a single woman. Like, I guess I'm a bit of a unicorn because I'm bi. So, but I don't know. I'm still figuring that out, I must admit. I just look for connections wherever I find them. But really, I'm looking for experiences and good friendship more than anything else. It's like I would quite happily take 75% friendship to 25% play. If play never happens and I meet someone or have the opportunity to meet someone once this lockdown's over, then and we don't connect in a sexual way, like, great, I've still made a friend, I've still had a good experience. And like, there's people that I would never have met otherwise that I can only really meet through Fab because, you know, all of the crazies go with Fab.
Gotta love Fab.
So what was your journey to becoming non-monogamous?
I always had very much the capacity to sort of love people in a very different way. I've always, my ex sort of thought about it as like compartmentalizing. So I'm able to love different people in different ways dependent on the situation, and be able to go, yeah, I love you, but as long as you're happy. So I'm quite able to do that. And when I started my swinging journey as part of a couple, that was always something I was quite fearful of, was that I might hurt somebody, or maybe I'll get overly attached, or maybe somebody else will get overly attached, or maybe I'll hurt my ex-partner. And all of those things were always sort of hovering over. But eventually I just kind of got used to the fact that was just my nature. Now, being single, I can be more relaxed and into that nature, and just being more of a sort of generally loving person who's, as long as the people around me are happy, that's really my main thing. And if I get to have lots of fun, horny sex, great.
Sounds fantastic.
That's a nice attitude, isn't it?
So you started as a swinger, or sort of exploring non-monogamy, and then you kind of signed up to OnlyFans and Instagram and Reddit and all these other different things as you've gone along. What's been the experience of that so far?
Really positive. It's been like kind of a shock to the system, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm very lucky because I was able, everyone around me, my friends and my family all know that I'm non-monogamous and I'm a swinger. So the conversation about OnlyFans with my mother literally went, Mom, I'm going to be selling naked photos on the internet. And just so you know, and my dad, bless him, just sort of went, I always knew you were a whore.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for that, Dad. But my mum's attitude was, well, you used to be a life drawing model. You were a life drawing model at 18 years old. This is not a surprise. And did all the, correct things. Are you happy? Are you safe? Right. Okay. Whatever. You do you, darling. You do you. We're proud. Go on. Go, whatever. And yeah, so because I've been in that situation, I've not had to worry about actively advertising it or throwing it on my personal Facebook or things like that, which has probably been quite good. I'm not really starting from a base of zero, which a lot of other people are. I've been able to go in and go, yeah, I'm doing this now. If you've ever fancied to see my tits, then this is where you find them. And that doesn't particularly bother me. That's never bothered me. I find being naked pretty empowering. Whereas, clothes, I look crap in clothes.
Well, interestingly enough, you mentioned to us before we started this that you had your first photo shoot quite recently.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us all about that.
It was all above board social distancing and stuff, but it was in an actual sex dungeon that it gets thingied. Listen to my technical terms. That is hireable. But the guy who owns the place is also a photographer and videographer. So I was there for about 12 hours and we did about 800 photos and about 3 videos, which was quite wow, because I didn't expect to really do that much in such a short period of time, but I was exhausted. Like the next day I'd slept like the dead. But it's really interesting, because you don't really, as much as I quite like getting my photo taken by myself, it's something totally different to have somebody else taking photos and videos of you.
Yeah.
And also having 3 cameras pointing at you at any given time. I'm like, where do I look? Like, where's the sexy eye contact going? I don't know. But it was very relaxed. It was very chilled out. And at no point, the only rule I've really got is that I'm not going to do anything at all that I am not 100% comfortable with. And I think that's the only advice I would give to anyone who's doing it. It's like, if it's not something you actively want to do, don't do it. If it's not fun, you're not doing it right. I was definitely in the position where I got to go in and go, actually, yeah, I really want to try that. And I really want to take photos with that. And it was great fun. Like I got to, pretend to be a sexy school teacher and give jerk-off instructions to the camera. It was fantastic. It was so much fun. And like, I got to play with several different toys. I got to found lots and lots of random stuff I'd never even considered, that I would get to play with before the swinging clubs opened properly again. But because it was all, because it was all done this way, it was pretty cool. And as I said, it was fantastic. And I got sushi out of it.
Sushi? Is that part of the photo shoot?
So that was always a bonus.
So when are these pictures out? Are they out yet, or?
Not entirely. I'm working my way through them. They're getting edited. The video's the same. There is a few teasers on my Twitter and a couple of teasers on my OnlyFans. So if you guys want to sign up, hint, hint. But one of the pictures at least is up on my Twitter, the one where I'm being a teacher and smacking a blackboard with a dildo and informing people not to wank off over Miss Kitty.
Ah, okay.
It's not every day you have that conversation, is it?
I mean, have sushi.
Like, you must not wank off over Miss Kitty. That's detention right there.
So you've been doing OnlyFans for a bit now. Is it going to become a main job for you? Is it just something you're doing to entertain yourself with and have fun? Where do you see it going?
At the moment, I'm not entirely sure. I think my main thing is, as long as it's fun, as long as I'm enjoying it, and as long as I'm actually getting the opportunity to say a lot of the things I want to say, be open and be myself, then I can see it being around for a while. I can't imagine it getting to the stage where I'm going to like leave my current job or anything like that anytime soon. But you never know. You never know. I'm not opposed to the idea. Yeah, it's very much an interesting thing where I'm not going to try and predict anything, because if I want to, like, don't get me wrong, I'm never going to care that there's photos or videos of me online. Mm-hmm. I do not give a fuck. I just don't. But if I wanted to walk away from it tomorrow, as long as if it's still in my power to do that at the moment, that's really the important thing. Mm-hmm. I just can't imagine that. I can't imagine that happening anytime soon. I've got too much that I want to try and explore, and I've been at it for less than a month, and I've already been picked up by a photographer. That's always a good start. And been dragged onto a podcast by you two lovely people.
You say dragged, we just actively encouraged it. It was fine.
And I fangirled in the corner and sort of went.
So what's been the sexiest thing, other than speaking to us, of course, that's happened in this adventure?
I've probably it's been being able to be a little bit more of an exhibitionist is quite good. So being a little bit more naughty and like the snow photos and things like that, that's been fun. Being able to just go, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go and do this because why the fuck not? Like, there's no reason why not. And I've had a lot of really like amazing comments and nice messages and stuff from loads of people. Tips and stuff are really good too, but the messages matter just as much. The interaction matters just as much. So yeah, and I think one of my friends with benefits he quite enjoys hearing about my antics. That's always a benefit.
What's it like interacting with subscribers? Do you get much interaction with them, or?
Sometimes. In the first week or so, it was quite quiet. This week has been absolutely mental. There's been lots of people talking, but not so much people signing up as much, because middle of the month, it's also February, and everybody and their auntie is, skint, because we're all suffering the post-Christmas. So I can imagine that it's going to be a little bit quieter in terms of the money side, but the interaction's quite good. People commenting on the posts directly and getting in touch via private message, which is not a problem for me either. The only thing I don't really do is I don't actively engage in sort of sexting, because I don't have the emotional energy for that. Like, more power to the women out there that can sit on OnlyFans for 16, 17 hours a day and sext guys for money. More fucking power to them. Well done. I don't have enough energy for that. I really don't. I just can't, because you've got to put so much into that for it to be worth it. And I'm like,
Well, it's hard enough coming up with energy just to have sexy conversations with people that you know, just in the lifestyle we find.
Just live.
Yeah, just living is a challenge at the moment. So
yeah, but there is times when I will just like, I'm sure you guys have the exact same problem, but you'll actively ignore the inbox on Fab because there's messages there.
Oh, I always ignore it.
You
fine.
Answer them.
I just leave that to him.
Fortunately, our inbox in Fab tends to be quite quiet. I think the local area, I think we have.
Maybe it's because I'm rude to everyone.
Yes, worked our way through but not in terms of sexy times, in terms of just general rudeness. So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Plus, you have an extensive block thing going on Fab. You block a lot of things.
Yeah, well, I think I reply with a smart ass comment, and that typically gets me blocked more than anything else.
So there is something quite fun, and this sounds terrible, and we might want to edit this out, but there's something fun about after midnight when the gremlins come out. Because like me, I've got one of my very best friends, and I absolutely adore her. I met through Fab. And she is actively one of my best friends in the world, and I can speak to her about anything and rely on her for anything. She's just one of the best people going. And yeah, like quite often I will message her and go, here it is, gremlin thing. Look at this nonsense. And it'll be some of the most, like, I am not going to kink shame by any stretch, but don't lead with it. Whatever it is, whatever the dark, taboo secrets of your heart, don't lead with that.
Well, we think, having done the TV show, I think that brought quite a lot of people out of the woodwork, and we certainly got some interesting, how much is it for a night with your wife kind of questions.
Wow.
I think you've misunderstood the TV show by quite a lot here. So yeah, there was all sorts of gremlins as you put them coming out of the woodwork.
We did get some really interesting Twitter interactions, didn't we?
Yeah, it was certainly a fun time. So I want to know what's been the best and what's been the worst thing about this whole experience for you?
The best has definitely been the self-confidence boost through the swinging and everything else. I had so many, and it's not to be that girl, right? But I honestly grew up thinking that I looked like Tim Burton had drawn me, then crumpled the paper and threw it away. I honestly thought I was such, an odd, gangly looking dork, and I never really stopped feeling that. And like my sort of weight fluctuated through my early 20s as well, like stopping being as active, starting being as active again. And it took me a while to sort of settle into my own skin. And I think the sort of last year and a half, I've very much settled into my own skin. And although a lot of the time it's, there's a lot of empty validation, and it's empty because it's just sort of, you get the message that just says hot or whatever, and it's like, cheers, thanks for that. You can't put a sentence together off you pop. But you also get some really amazing compliments that really do encourage you to look at yourself in a different way and to be more like, I would never, a year and a half ago, I never ever would have let somebody else take photos of me naked, never mind, take a video of me literally informing a guy how to jerk his cock. I never would have done that. But now it's so liberating, and that's wonderful. And I love it. I feel like there's been this little part of me that was just sitting there waiting to come out, and I'm all butterfly now. And that's nice.
Oh, it's nice. And the worst?
Probably there's been more of an attitude and more, I've had a lot of more problems with other women than I've had with guys. Okay. Generally, men are quite supportive for lots of different reasons. It's also the same reason that most of my friends are male. I find it easier to interact generally with guys because I'm quite straight up, and I find the high school girliness irritating, as I'm sure we all understand. But yeah, I've had a little bit of that where it's been women being like, "You're just a bit of a whore, though, aren't you? Oh, you're just this, you're just that." And it's always women, which was something I experienced when I was younger, and I worked in game, and I worked in those sort of industries as well, and that was something that it was always kind of the issue. It was always the women that were kind of the sexist and sort of nasty, sort of trying to drag you down. And I think I've experienced a little bit more of that, but I can handle it better now because I'm just like, you do you think what you want to think.
Do you think any of that is based on the fact that actually maybe I'm a bit jealous or feel threatened by you?
Well, I hope I'm not threatening. I like to think I'm absolutely adorable.
But generally speaking, when women direct hatred like that towards another, it's sometimes based on the fact that actually they're secretly a bit jealous of what you've got going on there.
Possibly. I don't like thinking that way about people, though. I like to think that jealousy is an ugly thing.
It is. It's true.
And I don't really like thinking, I don't know, that just seems like I would just be bigging myself up in a way that I don't want. It's like, I don't want people to be having that reaction to me. I'd rather that they were looking at me and going, oh, okay, right, she's doing something that's cool for her. And I might not agree with it, but good on her. As opposed to, they should be jealous of me. I'm so confident in my fucking skin. No, don't ever do that. I am honestly, I'm a curious kitty. Yes, I've got claws, right? But I will purr quite happily and give you all the head dance. I'm not a complicated creature, and I'm very approachable. I don't really want I never want to hear that somebody's jealous. They shouldn't be jealous. They should be loving themselves in their own skin. And yeah, like I would like to think that eventually that'll pass. I'd like to think that as I sort of develop a brand, to go back to the word I used earlier on, and people start to see more of my personality as much as anything else, and that it's more stable, that hopefully that will dissipate a little bit.
Cool. And my last question, again, nosy.
Go for it. I like your nosiness.
Do you think the fact that you've maybe started this during a pandemic has made people, do you think it's more popular to get an OnlyFans account because of the kind of environment we're all kind of stuck in? Kind
of, probably. I would think there's a lot of people starting it because everyone has their own reasons. I don't think that me saying that there's a right and wrong reason is a valid point at all. But I think that there's a lot of people starting it because they think easy money. Now, I laugh all the time and go, oh my God, it's a fucking racket. It's my side hustle. But it's not. You do have to put in the work, because it's not so much the sort of immediate boom that you'll get. It's can you make this a stable thing of any variety, be it to do with the interaction, be it to do with the money, be it to do with whatever. And so I think it is something that a lot of people are probably doing because they think, right, okay, I'm a little bit skint, we're in a lockdown, there's not much else for me to do, I'm going to give it a go. Well, that's as valid a reason as any. It's just not necessarily the best reason.
That's fair. I think I've just noticed maybe an abundance of it of late, because maybe I don't know, it seems quite popular now, doesn't it?
Or are you on the internet more because you're at home and therefore seeing more of it as a
There's
result?
Probably an aspect of that as well.
Yeah,
Mind you, I think OnlyFans is not very old in terms of, like, it's only a few years old. It's still, in a lot of ways, it's still a fledgling platform in itself, and there's lots of different ways of doing it. You can have a free account where you're not got the subscription fee, and then you can pay-per-view different things. You can do it the way I'm doing it, which is a subscription fee where most of the content is free, but videos and stuff like that are still pay-per-view. And I think that it's quite an accessible platform if that's something you want to try. And the only thing that I would suggest is that if you're ever going to give it a go, that it's something that you seriously think about, because you need to be okay with the fact that there's going to be photos of you on the internet like that forever. There's going to be videos of you like that. And yes, you are supported by OnlyFans. They actively support any copyright claims or anything like that. Your stuff is protected, which is wonderful. But you still have to be okay with that. I'm not going to be surprised if at one time, a video of me turns up on Pornhub. I'll be like, oh, right, okay, well, that's me, and I would like to be getting money from that. Cheers, thanks. But at the same time, if you're not 100% cool with that, or that maybe your kids one day will see that, or know about that at the very least, then it's probably not something that you really should do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting, and I love both points you've made there around one that once it's on the internet, it's there forever, and you have to make your peace with that. The other bit around actually how much effort goes into doing this. Whilst you could take it casually, I suppose, and you could, like you say, have it as a bit of a side hustle, you're probably not really going to do very well as a result of that. You actually have to put effort, thought, process, and you have to, in many ways, spend money to make money. And you
have to treat it like a business.
You do. Yeah. And, it's like with the podcast, people will complain about sound quality and stuff. We've been fortunate we've not had too much of that, but people will complain about all sorts of things. But what they don't realise is the monumental amount of effort, thought, work that goes into just producing stuff and content, no matter how you do it. And as consumers, we've become very, we just turn on the TV and Netflix is there and we can binge watch the latest show straight away like that. And we've become so used to that instant gratification, not even thinking about the processes that sit beside it. So, I want to say a huge, well done for getting to that point. And as far as you have, because it's not easy and people do deserve that support, I think. And it's important to recognise it.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
People just kind of assume that it all happens and it's just someone taking pictures of themselves with their tits out. You could do that, but it's never going to go anywhere.
I mean, there's levels of how good that looks, isn't it? I mean, anyone can do that, granted, but it's how you present it and whether people want to see more for the right reasons,
Exactly. Yeah. If it ends up in I think that I don't really like this term because it's overused for lots of different ways, especially in the swing community, but it is quality over quantity in terms of the people that support you. Because if you have a smaller niche, if I end up with a couple of 100 fans in a year or so who consistently interact, love what I do, are really into it, and are quite happy to continue to support me and see what I'm doing, I would be happier with that than having couple of thousand fans who only X amount of them actually interact and actually do what I want them to do. Because I like, from my perspective, I like the juxtaposition of the fact that I know I'm a very sexual creature. That's just my nature. But I'm also very intelligent and very clever, a massive dork. And I want to express those aspects of myself along with that. I don't want to just be this one-dimensional picture on a page. I want to have that sort of aspect going with my fans and with the people that, honor me with following me, because that's what they're doing. They're taking their time or spending their money to follow me, you know? And I'm just a Scottish wildling that loves tea and cats and Star Trek.
Well, and
You know?
on that note, actually, I think it's really important before we sort of round this up. Where the hell can people find you? Where do they go?
Beyond the wall.
Where do you point them? What's the names? Give us all that lovely information so we can get more people to stare at your boobs.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, go ahead. Like, I've got great boobs. They're pierced and everything. Basically, you'll find me at Curious Kitty 345 is basically, that's my Reddit, that is my Instagram, that is my Twitter, and that is also my OnlyFans as well. So you'll find me there with no problem. I do have a TikTok as well, but I'm still not entirely sure how the hell you work
my
that
goodness,
thing.
TikTok. Yeah.
Like, what buttons do I push? So yeah, I've got links on my Twitter account as well. All my links is on everything. So you can just click on that and everything is there.
And one more time, what was it again?
At Curious Kitty 345.
There we go. Kim, I want to say a huge, massive thank you for coming on the show today. It's been really lovely speaking to you. You've been a treat both to talk to and to look at. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I'm rocking my dork glasses. Nobody else can see them, but these are my dorky glasses.
I'm excited to get involved in Boob Club with her, frankly.
Well, look out for Boob Club coming your way soon, I suspect. But thank you for joining us.
Online
It's
Boob
been
Club.
a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We've got something that's just for you. Holy shit, it's an interview.
So we've got some amazing guests with us here today. We have the delightful Math and the delightful Emily. They are, I guess, an OnlyFans couple.
Okay.
Well, they may not identify as that. We can ask them in a second.
Yeah.
They're nodding their heads furiously in the background, I'm assuming. This is good. So thanks for joining us today. We've invited them on to talk through a little bit about OnlyFans, get to know them a bit better, and hopefully, get a free pass to their site.
Oh, is that what you were aiming at all along?
Yes, at last, my cunning plan has been revealed. So, folks, how long have you been on OnlyFans?
Oh, a couple of months.
Yeah, we started in, I think, October. We launched our OnlyFans, which was...
It was all just for a bit of fun, really. Wasn't it?
We were this quintessential joke to start with that people making money out of feet pictures. So Emily used to get a lot of compliments about her feet, and various people have said some things, and I was like, you could do that. And that's how the name Soul of an Angel came about.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of like, that's how we started. But then it quickly came that we're both not really that into feet. But they are very lovely feet, and we do feet stuff. But yeah, just it developed into what we actually wanted, but we didn't know at the time. Okay,
so you joined in October, and was that just for fun? Was it a bit of a laugh? Was it? Something must have clicked in the head to go, oh, we could do something for this.
We thought it would just be a bit of fun, to be honest, didn't we? And we thought we'd just be like that hysterical stereotype that starts this OnlyFans and nothing really comes of it, and you move on and it keeps us occupied. But it turned into a bit more than that.
It's kind of 180. So like at first it was just candid shots with no face, and we were very aware of what was in the background, just in case, God, what if people recognise us? And it was very much, that's how it started. And now we just kind of share everything, and if it happens, it happens. And
that's a good attitude to have. So did you know about OnlyFans sort of before you kind of decided to get involved with it? Had you seen it sort of around, or did someone recommend it to you?
I personally didn't. I don't know, you did. I
think it's impossible to be a male on Instagram and not know about OnlyFans. I'd never subscribed to one. I'd never paid it, so I'd never seen any content. Didn't have an account, but it was kind of one of those meme things where everyone kind of knew It's a bit like a Pornhub intro. The music, you don't have to have watched it, but you'll recognise the music anyway.
A bit like Babe Station from the was it the 90s that Babe Station was around?
I think we dialed into some Babe Station once.
Way before we got into lifestyle.
Quite amazingly, but we found that you could text them anything and they would read it out live on a TV show.
Rather hilariously. We never paid for it. We only ever did the free one.
I think everyone's done that.
So that was, yeah. I mean, we got through some pretty obscure things that we got them to say.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
I particularly like getting them to say, "How much wood woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood."
We've got a very particular fetish.
Yeah. So
I want to do that again.
So you've said that you're out and about now. So do your friends and family know about this?
No. We're still very private from our friends and family.
Yes.
It's been nice meeting new friends that are able to know all of us. In a strange way, I kind of feel a little bit at times closer to them because they know like a whole me, not rather than what I'm choosing or allowing them to see. But realistically, like my lifelong friends know me in depth.
Yeah.
More.
It's hard to bring to the topic or explain to close friends and family. But I think because what they might think might.
I feel like monogamy is ingrained into you.
Yeah. Like, I think that it's the judgment that would come with a close friend that they wouldn't have an issue talking to you about, where everyone we've met has been through the scene, so we know they're fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay. We've certainly found that the journey to sort of making new friends in the lifestyle is kind of your vanilla friends sort of slowly disappear into the background a bit.
Sounds really sinister.
Well, they sort of do, because your sexy new friends, even if they're pants on friends, are sort of almost infinitely more exciting and have infinitely better stories most of the time because of the very nature of what you're doing.
And I think that's very much true for both of us, isn't it? I mean, we've got we share a friend group because we've been together for a very long time.
Such long time.
So like we share a friend group from school. So it's but they've definitely, considering we're in lockdown, we've got nothing to do. Usually we talk a lot, but now we're just, it's gone the other way. So our swinging friends, as we call them, are very much, we speak to them every day, and we just, even if we can't play or do anything interesting like that because of the COVID crisis, but we just talk to them because we feel like we've got more in common with them now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We've certainly found that we've got better conversations sometimes, haven't we?
Yeah. It's and conversations like these are always much more interesting for us as well. I mean, you've mentioned that you've been together quite a while. Might we ask how long? And is this a dangerous question to ask a pair?
No, 13 years.
Yeah.
And we've been married for 5.
I'm going to let you answer that one.
5 years, coming up to 6.
Final answer,
Yeah.
5
I wasn't
years.
risking that on the recording.
And can we pry a little deeper? Do you have kids?
We do.
Yeah.
We've got 2 children.
Okay.
Very young, luckily.
Is there a risk the kids might find out about this down the line? How do you handle that if that happens?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know. It's something I think about. It occasionally keeps me awake at night. But
it's something we thought about.
I don't know.
Spoken about it briefly, but
the fear of the unknown.
It's the fear of the unknown. But I mean, I was like, when I was raised, sex was never a taboo thing to talk about.
No.
Like, if I ever needed to talk about something, I'd ask, and I'd never be belittled or felt stupid. It was very much information-based. This is my advice. I think you should do this, and these are the general, and that's how pretty much I hope that I will raise our very, very young children. But it's a conversation.
They
for another
really
day.
are very young.
Plus, as long as they pay for the subscription, it's not too.
What's fucking money for?
Yeah, well, they might want the money that we're giving them.
So I'm quite curious, and I know I'm going to segue away from all your questions, which you've lovingly prepared, because I always do. So when you first joined OnlyFans, so was it with the intention of kind of starting off with this feet thing? You know, a little bit of light-hearted, oh, here's my pretty feet, they're really cool. And then it kind of segued from there into a bit more, adult content.
So it kind of 3 years ago, he broached the whole hot wife topic.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't respond well.
Okay.
Then more recently, but after the OnlyFans feast start up, he broached the topic again, and it went very well. And it went from there, really. It evolved so quickly, and I can honestly say I've never felt more myself than this new dynamic of our relationship. And so, because I feel more myself, I think I was happy to share it.
I got you. So would you do your hot wife dynamic even if you didn't have your OnlyFans thing?
Yes. So even if I didn't have OnlyFans, I 100% live this new lifestyle.
Yeah, got you.
And I've never felt more at ease. I've never felt more at peace with myself as a person.
And as a couple as well, most people have been locked in together. And I've been fed up and trying to escape and get away from each other. We've never been closer. I'm just going to be together for, a very long time. And we consider ourselves friends only.
Okay.
But the communication level that's come from it has been fantastic because we tell each other everything now.
Yeah, we've always been quite good at communicating anyway, but this has definitely brought out that next level of communication. It's been nice.
Yeah, because so I think I don't know if we answered the question, but we started it because it was fun, not because it was a get rich quick scheme. Because it's not. But it started as fun, and I've got amazing pretty feet, and it very quickly became much more nothing to do with feet really anymore.
But if it died a death tomorrow, we'd still do it.
You still do the lifestyle that you've kind of
absolutely
gone into.
So you've mentioned that you've been exploring the hot wife sort of scene. Is that how you folks identify? Have you been on that journey for long?
We've not been on it for very long, but I'd say hot wife seems to have become alongside a cuckold, which we don't tend to follow.
No.
So we've recently learned more of a stag vixen dynamic, which I'd say suits us better.
Yeah.
A lot better.
But you usually have to try and explain what that is. But
a lot of people don't seem to know. Yeah,
so because I think the problem with labels is that because of the internet are large and tags and names, they will.
It's very structured.
You Google it and it usually comes up with porn because it is something to do with sex life, and then all of a sudden you see the extreme of it, and we're very much with human beings, but we would class ourselves as stag vixen.
You just like sharing your life.
Yeah. I like to watch, but don't humiliate me or take the make out of me, and I absolutely want to join it.
That's certainly the stag and vixen sort of scenario that we've talked to other people about. It's an interesting one because we've tried to explore some of the terms and phrases, particularly around the hot wifing, cuckolding, stag and vixen scenario, and I think broadly people seem to feel that hot wifing is the general whole thing as a overview. And then cuckolding is one subset and stag and vixen is another subset. And I'm sure there's a million others out there. But you're almost better with some of these things to sort of say, well, this is what we think we identify as, but then explain that, because so many people, like you say, there's not one clear authority on any of this stuff, and people kind of get quite angry if you get it wrong.
No, that's right. We only started last year, so we're very new, and what we started, what we thought we wanted, is not where we're at now. And
I'm sure given another 6 months, it'll possibly change.
It can change again. We're on a journey as much as anyone else.
Excellent. And so when you started doing the OnlyFans stuff, and you've kind of been doing that for a while now, would you say that you're getting a kick out of it? Is it exciting, or is it becoming more and more mundane by the day? Because it is a job in effect, isn't it?
It is. More work goes into it than what you initially anticipate.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy it. I don't treat it the way other people seem to treat it. So we know quite a lot of people who do it, and we've all swapped our subscriptions, everything else, and whatever. And I don't seem to have the same take on it as they do. And I don't know whether that's just me so far anyway. But basically, I don't upload every day necessarily. If I do something and I think people will want to see it, I will film it. If I have a shower and I happen to have a little bit more time on my hands, I might film it. If I'm going out in the car and I happen to shove the butt plug in that day to do my shopping, I'll show you. If I come home and I fancy having sex with my husband that night, you might watch. But it's not necessarily I need to make content. Like what I put on is my genuine life.
Yeah.
It is real. But what comes from that is that you might not get something every day.
Yeah, and that's the difference between the feet. That was very much right. Yeah. We need to think of poses, think of ideas. Let's do that, and then it became, well, actually, this is our life. Let's just show our life, document our life in inverted brackets, and just put it out there. And if people want to see it, then
whereas I don't sit there every evening with my lighting all set up and make 6 different videos and then post them over 6 different days. Like, if there's a video that's gone up that day, it's probably what I did the day before.
Excellent. And do you get a lot of interaction with the fans that sign up?
We get some interaction,
yeah.
We've had some really nice people. I like that. That's a part of my personality in general.
Yeah.
I enjoy speaking to people in depth that I don't know and I know nothing about.
And I think it also was like, Emily won't mind me saying, I think it feeds her ego a bit in terms of that. Like, we've got some guys that like to buy her lots of like lingerie or toys that like are interactive that they can play with like over apps and things. So she gets to tick the I'm being watched buttons that she's learned that she likes to be ticked, that we had no idea about before OnlyFans. But then they also she gets a nice lingerie at the same time. They get to see her in it. She gets to wear it. It's a bit of a win-win, really. So that's all attractive.
So have you got like regulars already that kind of come back and you kind of see the same faces a lot?
We've got a few people that regularly resubscribe and they have done since the start. We've got some people that come and go. We've got other people that come back. I've got regulars on more so on my camming than I do on my OnlyFans. But it's all fun.
But because we don't focus on one thing, we're us and we use the different platforms to show us. So it's the regulars we have tend to be spread across all of them. They'll never just be on the one platform, as it were.
It's nice interacting with them.
And it's great because
we learn from them as well. So they'll message us and they'll be like, oh, I quite fancy this. And I'm like, oh, what's that? Like, tell me more. Maybe I can do that. I want to. It does my knowledge craving. I love it.
And then that means that we get to then have fun trying it, and we'll usually take pictures and videos of us doing said act, which then we can put on.
It doesn't always turn out well.
Which doesn't, but so there's some that is like, but it's very real. And hopefully they've liked it, and I know that some of them have, and they've come back and they've given us more ideas to try different things.
Yeah.
That's cool. And Matt, I assume you like the whole thing and the whole process as well, and you're quite involved in all of this.
Yeah, so like I call myself the admin.
Fabmin.
Because, the fabmin, because we started on the swinging sites and doing different things, and we've never done it. I've never done video editing or picture editing, but I'm Emily's number one champion. So like, if I didn't think she was amazing and worth putting out there, like, I wouldn't have suggested the whole thing to start with. And the fact that she loves it is why we do it. Because if she didn't like it, we'd have stopped instantly. But it's nice to be able to show how much people do appreciate the effort that not only she puts in, but I put in. Because sometimes I'll get messages going, "Oh, that was really good. I like the way that you did that." So it's not just a very one-way thing, is it?
No.
So
people are appreciative.
Yeah, like for every set of underwear or pair of nice high heels that Emily's been sent, I've had a keg of beer been sent to me. So it's a win-win.
Wow,
excellent.
It is kind.
I've made some fantastic friends.
And is it how shall I put this, lucrative?
Beautifully put.
I think we're about to break even on OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yeah. OnlyFans, not so much.
Not at the moment. I think it has the potential to, but again, we're not, because we're not following a business model. We don't go, right, we've got to do this. We push on Twitter when we've done things, and we push on Instagram when we do things, but we could do a lot more. We could do a lot more. We could, but we don't want to. We want to be us because we're on a journey. We want to share the journey. We don't want to just make content for the sake of it to shove in people's faces. So spend money.
It's really important to be authentic, I find, in whatever you're doing.
Yeah. So we've not so much cameras, but like lighting and all that kind of stuff. And we've had people buy some things for us. They said, "Oh, we've used this in the past," and so they've sent us something. But we're very much like everything you're wearing essentially on the we pay for, we buy, and particularly with the feet to start with. Like I was painting nails.
Oh, wow.
Painting toenails and stripping toenails because you can't have pink 3 days in a row. And it's just, and that was
more work.
No, it was. That was like
the feet was more work.
The stress of that made me realise that's why we didn't want to do it that way, because
sounds like
we weren't
second trade there.
That really did feel like work.
Yeah, it did.
You could have just photoshopped
we're trying to sit down and watch TV. I come home from work.
You need to paint my toes. I've had red toes for 3 days. He's like, so? No, you don't understand.
Well, you can go into another one.
Pink.
You can go into Only Nails after this and make a bit of extra on the side there. Although, you know what? The thought of actually wearing heels and having nice nails and dressing up and putting makeup on sounds amazing now. I feel like
it has been nice because
I've been more of an effort with my appearance.
Yeah, definitely. But also because we can't go out.
Yeah.
So look, you like to get dolled up, you like to go out, but because we can't do that at the moment, it's nice to have a reason to.
Yeah,
it's given me a purpose. That sounds strange, but I feel like it's given me a purpose to maintain what I value in myself, appearance-wise, aesthetically.
Yeah.
I think I'd have been in sweatpants with my hair scragged up and a bun every single day.
Yeah,
it's like vegging out, just about managing to shower. I've lost the will to live.
Have there been any downsides to the whole venture?
Not so far.
I don't know. We've come across a very few minority of people who have been rude. So because I do all the fabbing, as it is, they'll come across. So it's for me, it's an instant, you gone, kind of. But that I'm talking 2% of people have come through.
I wouldn't say they're necessarily rude. I would just say that they've got no tact. So they are more upfront about what they want, and they're not necessarily. They don't necessarily have the social aspect that could maybe go alongside it, which in my opinion goes a long way. It's something I value.
Internet house trolls.
They're not trolls. They're not being mean. They're just, this is what I want, and that's it. There is no deviation from what they're saying. They're very straight to the point, and that's not something that I value. It's not something that I am interested in.
It's an interesting one. You can't always choose we find you can't always choose your listeners, and you can't always choose your fans. And, as much as you hope people align with your beliefs and your sort of the way that you present yourself, anyone can turn up. And unfortunately, that means that there can be a number of people that just don't align with your views. And that we've found that to be occasionally frustrating.
Absolutely. And you are probably way more diplomatic, but also less tolerant than me, if that makes sense. You're kind of, I tend to brush it off a little bit more, I think, because I don't really take it too seriously. Whereas I think Mr. H probably reads some things or interacts with people and thinks, actually, that's bad manners, or, think about who you're interacting with. And
I shall destroy them using the power of my interwebs.
Good manners cost nothing.
Very alike in the odd dynamic.
Yeah, because I don't have patience for people being rude, or it's just I don't know. But at the same time, I'm very aware that they've paid for a service to see our page. So I'll be courteous, very diplomatic, and it's not just a no, go away. It's just we're not really into that, or kind of explaining it. But at the same time, just because they've paid to view our page, that then doesn't give them the right to dictate what we should do. We'd much rather have a nice open conversation with someone and go, that sounds hot, let's do that.
100% better.
Or, no, thank you. And then say, well, actually, this probably isn't for me then. And we go, oh, thank you for trying.
Yeah.
Like, go find what you're after. And that's okay as well.
Exactly that.
Judge someone for leaving.
Yeah.
So what's next for you folks? So you've got your OnlyFans, you're exploring hot wifing, brand new in both, really.
Yeah.
What does the future hold?
Our next one, when we come out of lockdown, is probably to go to our local club.
I think clubs. We've already we've spoken to the club organisers for various different clubs, and I think a tour of the UK is on the order. But at the moment our local club's Townhouse.
We're going to our local one, which is very nearby.
Yeah, so Townhouse is our local one.
We've met a lot of people, a lot of friends.
Yeah. So Purple Mamba is our next stop, because we're going to work our way down. And
if only there was a podcast where people had gone out across the country and already reviewed them for you to listen to. Oh, it's our show!
Except we worked our way.
But that was the beauty of being able to speak to the owners. Like, we had this misconception that people who own swinging clubs must be a certain type, and that's horrible to say, because
but you don't know, and you
picture a nightclub owner. I think everyone pictures the same kind of seedy guy, and then we were so wrong. We have met
amazing people.
All the owners of the club are just so nice, and like,
but the people that go as well.
Yeah, that's what, it's everything.
I've literally today been messaging a lovely guy who goes to Purple Mamba.
Yeah.
He's lovely. He's a really nice guy.
You sound surprised.
No, but we don't know because of lockdown and unable to just pick up.
But he's like a friend now, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's really kind. Like,
so yeah. But I think the plan is hit the clubs and meet the people we've been speaking to online. So I think we want to end up in London, don't we? And go to Le Boudoir and just have a great time.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds
sounds like a shared bucket list on everyone's.
I think everyone wants that for 2021/2029.
Leave the house.
When we're allowed to.
Step one.
Yeah, exactly that. I want to say a massive, massive thank you to you both for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I really want people to go out and find you and find your content out there. So can you tell us how people can hunt you down and see naked pictures of your wife?
Well, on Twitter, we are Soul of Anne, because our name was taken. On Instagram, we're Soleofanangel X.
And on OnlyFans, we're just Soleofanangel.
And on OnlyFans, we're Soleofanangel. But if all our links are on all of our socials. So
and soul isn't as in, like, an angel's soul or a person's soul. It's soul as in...
It's the soles in the foot, because that was how it started. Because we literally didn't know what to call ourselves, and we were doing feet content. So I felt very witty and clever coming up with Soul of an Angel.
You
I was
were
like,
very proud
see
of
that?
yourself.
It's a play on words because it's feet. And then, and now I'm almost regretting it. But it sticks, and people heard it.
I mean, you can change it to toes of an angel, maybe.
The last thing you want is sticky feet of an angel.
Exactly. Or, like a Solero.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or usually I get called Soul and she gets called Angel when people talk to us. I'm like, no, I'm not a foot.
Soul love.
I'm definitely an angel.
You are the angel.
Are you planning to meet any of your fans?
Only one of our fans, actually. But when COVID allows, we are planning to meet one of our fans. Yes, he's very, very nice.
Yeah, he's
become more of a friend.
He's definitely more of a friend than a fan, but enjoys the fan aspect of it. I think, but just a really nice guy. that we've been speaking to, and it's just polite.
We've got a lot in common with him, and
like we talk multiple times every day. So
cool, nice chat.
Fantastic. Well, thank you once again for joining us, guys. It's been a real pleasure. Folks, find Soul of an Angel, go to their Twitter, go to their OnlyFans, subscribe, and pester them with strange requests if you want to. That's absolutely fine. They'll enjoy that. Especially painted nails every day, different colours. That'll be perfect. Different shoes. I'm sure they'd love it. Thank you, guys. We just want to say a huge thank you to Soul of an Angel and Curious Kitty. Speaking to all of them lot was an absolute bloody delight. Highly recommend that you go out and check their content out. Go find it on the interwebs. Go have a look at them lovely boobs. Go give them some money. It'd be great. They'd enjoy that, I'm sure. Miss Sage, you seem to be laughing quite a bit.
Dem boobs.
Dem boobs.
It reminds me of that Zig and Zag song.
Dem girls, dem girls.
Dem boobs.
Dem boobs. Go check out Dem boobs. Pay them some money. That would be fantastic. Enjoy it. And let us know what you think. Next time round, we've got the delightful Nerdy Introverts on the show, and we're going to be talking to them about OnlyFans as well, looking at their experience. Now, I think they've been on the site for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So it'll be a bit of a different flavour.
And plus they're nerdy.
Well, I think everyone we've spoken to has been slightly nerdy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit nerdy because,
totally.
They've spoken to us and absorbed some of our own nerdiness.
What, like a weird nerd Borg kind of thing?
Nerd osmosis. Which, if you do suffer from, please see your doctor about that.
Nerd osmosis. Wow.
Anyways, I think that's about it for now. What I would say is that we found out quite recently that we were nominated for the Lifestyle Award thing.
Wow, that's a snappy title.
I know, right? And
the Lifestyle Award thing.
Yeah, like we were nominated for Best Podcast.
Best Lifestyle Podcast. Oh, the ASN magazine.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one. So
occasionally I do read things.
Exactly. So if you nominated us, then thank you very much. That was very, very kind of you. We've been sort of putting out some links to it. So if you do fancy putting us up as your favourite lifestyle podcast.
I think voting's open till July.
It is. So you've got plenty of time. You don't have to rush immediately and
do it.
And
you
you
can do multiple votes.
Can you?
Every day you can vote.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realise this.
I did. I read.
I
read it.
Okay. Well, go and vote for us if you want, or if you want to vote for someone else. But...
So in theory, you could vote for someone different every day, or you could vote for the same person every day, but you can submit a vote every single day.
Really?
Apparently.
Okay.
Multiple votes.
There's all sorts of other categories in there. There's like best lifestyle venue and
there's
best
literally
education.
like 100 categories.
There's a lot of categories, and it's very US based and focused. But we're pleased to be able to say that we're representing the UK in some small fashion. And if you appreciate that, then
there's a category for best belligerent humour, I think. And if there isn't, there bloody well should be.
Most grumpy, up in the morning, coffee drinking.
I reckon there should be a category for best lockdown growing out haircut.
Best
you
wench.
would win that hands down today, babe.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm winning something on the haircut front because it clearly isn't looking that way. Anyways, if you go to ASN, have a look, vote for us if you fancy. That would be really kind of you. And if you don't, then no skin off our nose.
Vote for someone else.
Yeah, vote for someone else.
They're probably great.
They're probably better than us, to be fair. It doesn't take a lot. Anyone can rock up and do these things these days. So enjoy it.
That's why I'm here.
Exactly. You literally have.
I just keep turning up, and you just keep letting me in.
Well, the thing was your journey to this point today to right now, because we don't always record this in order and in sequence. Behind the curtains, magic peek here.
Right.
Mrs. H has literally woken up.
Yes.
Had breakfast provided to her.
Okay.
We've had a little bit of sexy times in the morning. Mm-hmm. Great, very nice. And then you've rolled out of bed.
That was also provided to me.
Yeah, provided to you. Minimum movement required. And then you've had another coffee whilst recording.
And then we watched a bit of Shark movie.
Meg.
The Meg.
But I want to point out that it is noon now. So that's all we've managed to achieve today. So
nothing else to do, is there?
Well, and if you've managed to do that much today, then well done you. Well done you.
We might actually leave our house today.
What's that daylight thing we keep hearing about?
I know. Can't do anything, but we can go out and walk around and come back again.
Exactly that. Right. Mrs. H, let's play the thing. Oh, you should do your thing, rather.
I should do my thing?
Yeah.
Oh, this is why I turn up.
I know, right?
It's taken us 96 episodes to figure out why I'm here.
Just to end the thing.
Just to end it all.
I think the reason why we get you to do this is so that you know it's over and you can stop being belligerently angry at everything.
Or in which case, I would invite you all to say thank you for hopping into our bed.
Why would you invite them
I don't know.
to thank you?
It feels like a good thing to do. I'm going to invite people to hop into our bed.
No, you can't do that yet.
No, I can't do that yet.
That'll happen soon in the UK. Do you just want to do it properly? I can do it. Thank you for hopping into our bed.
No, never.
Oh, what? Go on then.
You shall not.
All right.
All right. Let's do it properly, shall we?
All right, you had one job.
One job. Here we go. Thank you for hopping into our bed.
Right. Do you want to go?
Probably.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Go on. Remember to do your smashy nicey voice.
No, I don't have one.
But baby, you just
No, I really don't have one.
All right.
Okay, so I'll just carry on then. Look, I don't normally drive. You do.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right. Okay.
You drive.
Okay.
Because you know you do.